Do you ever take a picture and you come back to look over it or edit it and you realize it just doesn't look right? It doesn't look like how you saw it. That's a composition issue. In this composition series, we're gonna fix that and we're gonna get you perfected at composition. Woo! First, we're gonna need to know what composition is. So let's grab the Wikipedia definition of composition. According to Wikipedia, composition is the placement, arrangement, and visual elements or ingredients in your work of art as distinct from the subject. So what that means is your overall photo. Composition is how your overall photo looks. A photo with great composition is going to be appealing to the eye and almost like addicting, like you're going to look at it and you're going to go, wow. Poor composition is just going to be a type of picture that you look at and you just don't see it. You just look at it and you just either scroll right past it or it just doesn't look too appealing. Now, every single picture has composition. You can judge any single picture by composition. Doesn't matter if it's a selfie or a professional picture of the beach. Every picture has composition. Here are 7 steps to what overall composition kind of is. 1, rule of thirds. 2, level pictures. 3, the time of day that you took the shot, meaning if you have a model or a lot of pictures, if it's directly in the daytime where it's very harsh light and you don't have a way to diffuse it or make that light soft on your face to not show hard shadows, that is gonna ruin the composition of your shot. You need to keep the foreground, middle ground, and background in mind when you're taking a picture. What's in each of these places? Is it very good what's in there? Is there junk in one of these spots that you don't want? And you can just turn your camera and remove it. That'll make better composition. Lighting, which also goes with time of day, but lighting, is the subject's face well lit? Is the stuff in the background darkened to emphasize the subject? And like in this situation, how my background's a little bit darker and my face is a little bit brighter because I'm closer to the light source, and it's gonna make you focus on me more than what's in the back, all that crap in the back. Subjects, the subject needs to be in the right spot. In this case, I'm right in the center of the rule of thirds. I can be over here or down here, but it's gonna be a little bit distracting in a video situation, in like a tutorial type of thing. It's gonna be a little bit distracting if I'm over here because you're gonna wanna look at what's back here. And instead of me wanting to look at what's back here, like in a landscape, a beautiful landscape with cool stuff in the background, I'm gonna be right here, so I'm the center of your attention. And objects in the shot. For example, I put these cameras back here in this shot to show that I'm a photographer, and they're also on my desk, which shows they're a thing that I use every day, or I use a lot, and it will kind of give you the vibe that I'm shooting a lot, I'm doing a lot with cameras because they're on my desk, and desks are objects you use like every day. I mean, I'm just using this as an example for the video, so that's kind of what I'm going with composition. Everything kind of has its place in a story almost in it. Also, the location of the objects. I just have this in the background. I don't want that as the focus. I don't care about that too much. It was just an example. Now we're gonna hop in Lightroom and I'm gonna show you all 7 of these steps here in separate shots or same shots, just showing you, critiquing my shots that I've taken to see what composition these have and why these shots look very good versus some that don't look very good. We're gonna start with this photo. This photo I took a long time ago, or my brother took this of me a long time ago. And does this picture have good rule of thirds? I'd say yes. Some of my pictures kind of break the rule of thirds, but I think that's okay. It's very close here and it's really good here. It's level, the time of day is pretty good for this type of shot. There's a nice little bouquet here. The composition looks very good here. You should know if it looks good because it'll look rather addicting if it looks good. You'll want to look at it. It'll appeal to your eyes. Let's move on to the next photo. This is a very old night picture. Already, this picture, the composition with the colors is great. These colors look cool, how it's like half and half. The blue and the magenta. But this cropping is a little bit off. I would like this to show I need to make up my mind in this picture. Which looks better, the sky or the rocks? Going in the middle is okay, but it's not a good thing to really do too much. But the colors look good, the rocks are well lit, so composition pretty good. So for this picture, the composition is really good. I think this looks really nice. It looks great. Would look even better with an Instagram crop if it was just a little bit more. The reason why I didn't crop the horizon here is because I wanted to make this middle part the subject even more. This comes right here. This is like the focal area kind of here. So this comes right into focus here, and then this ends off right on the background with the beautiful palm trees and the nice clouds in the back. So very good composition in this. Look at this to the horizon right here. Perfect horizon. Doesn't get any better than that. Perfect composition on the horizon. You can tell what I wanted to focus on. Now the clouds are very good this day, but look, I wanted to focus more on this fence. That's why the focus is right here. Not only that, but it's down here. You're looking down at this fence. You're not looking up at the beautiful sky. So very good rule of thirds here. The focal point's right in the middle of the rule of thirds. So not only does it drag your eye in, but it's right in the middle. It looks good. This, the bottom part is very good. Great rule of thirds here. That's why this picture looks so good. Nice out of focus here. The person in here doesn't appeal to me too well. This wave does. The composition of this picture is very well. The sailboat back here. The other boat looks okay here. The sun's cut off, so it's not super bright like this. So I think that looks good. The cropping is very nice. This sunset was very 3D right in my face. Like it looked like the sky was very, so great composition here. It does not follow the rule of thirds too well, other than the fact that all the clouds kind of start here and end kind of here. That looks very good. The horizon looks very level, but it does not start on one of the rule of thirds. I think that since it broke the rule, it almost looks better. It's not like every picture you'll see. It kind of stands out. Moving on to a portrait. This is a perfect example of a portrait kind of thing. Generally, the middles right here, so the points on each rule of thirds are going to attract you. And in this case, it's right here, which would be favorable if you put it on an eye that you wanted to focus on. But I just want your focus in this general direction. So everything's kind of going like this kind of flow. Everything's coming this way. And your eyes are looking around and they stop on her, on her face, the subject. The tones look great. What she's wearing, everything, composition is everything. So in portraits, especially, what they're wearing really goes into the composition. The background looks good, the palm tree looks good. The palm tree is a nice subtle thing. It's got some pattern to it, but it doesn't take you away. It actually kind of brings you towards her eyes. You look at that and then you look right at her eyes, or her face. Moving on here. Here's a car shot. It looks pretty good. The overall picture, the coloring is great here. The lines on the road are great. I shot this at the right shutter speed, so the lines look good, but the car is very in focus. Signs okay, it just kind of shows these telephone poles, no. The sun is almost on those rule of thirds. If I was a little bit farther up on the car and he was a little bit more back, it would have been great. Overall, love the composition on this. Love the colors, love the color of the car, love the car itself. That's composition as well. Everything in the shot is. This is pretty good. This is when you want to get pretty close, you want to have each little section of focus here. So the bad part I'd say about this composition here is the lighting doesn't put her too standing out as the subject. Look at this background here. The background is lighter than she is. That's not very good. So this is okay. Her body's a little bit twisted, which I think it adds a little style to her because this is how she is. She's a very upbeat person. She's cool, she's hip, she's wearing awesome clothes. The rule of thirds is looking okay. When I like to focus on when the face is up here, I do like to cut it at the chin or the lips. This is kind of distracting in the background because the background's so light. So overall composition, okay. Clothing composition, on point. Good job, Sophia. This picture has great composition. This picture breaks the rules in every way, shape, and form, and it is great. This is the perfect way to break your rules of composition, which means it's not breaking the rules too much at all. These rocks are these rocks are in the good area. This horizon is very level, not on the rule of thirds at all. Neither is this area over here. It's not too much on there. Your eyes look everywhere at this picture. And in that situation, it looks good because this whole picture is a subject. There's not too many of a single subject in this picture. You don't know, look at this picture, you know it's great. Like, you know the colors look great, the sky looks great, the water looks great. You just you can't explain what the subject is. There's something about this picture that just really attracts you. It attracts me, at least. I think the combination of the beautiful clouds almost look like they're going towards the sun. Great leading lines of these clouds. Look at these lines. They're pointing at the sun. This is pointing over here. This island is coming out. It's almost like a finger pointing. These rocks are just enough to pull your attention to the beautiful sunset, and then your eyes slowly work its way back. And this darkness leads you right into the middle, where the middle looks great. Great composition. Could use work on the focus, but I think that's great. And these are all my pictures, so of course I'm gonna critique them. Venice, good composition here. Reason why I did this is breaking the rule of thirds a little bit here. Reason why I did that was because there's junk down here I wanted to remove. This sign looks great where it is. It really pulls your eyes because it's on this line. See, it's running across this line. It really pulls your eyes to this, the Venice sign, and then it pulls your eyes up to the clouds and the overall tone, the darkness here. This, you know, this could be bright and it could be very distracting, but I made it very dark in silhouette and it looks really good. So, and I love these shoes here, or these fake shoes. Composition, awesome in this shot. This is an unedited picture. Now the composition will look good after I do these things. Color needs to be more attractive. It's a very neutral, I shoot in neutral, so it's very neutral. Cropping needs to be done. Instagram crop 4x5 will cut this guy out. Great reflections, horizon needs to be level. And once all that's good, just some dodge and burn here, lighten up some of these poles, get this baby pumping, you know, this will look great. And this is an important thing about composition here, is the rule of thirds, in my opinion, there's another rule of thirds. The rule of odd numbers, in this case 3, makes it so much better. Now this looks like there's like a fourth tree, but it looks like it's 1. So this is a great picture because it follows the rule of thirds very well. These are right in the center, right on the line. And there's a lot of minimalism here. The clouds look good here. They're just, a little bit more color needs to be added. This horizon, well, first of all, I need to straighten it with, and second of all, I need to make up my mind, do I want this in the shot or do I not want this in the shot? I think to keep this minimalistic look and these clouds here, I'm not gonna want that horizon in the shot. So I hope critiquing my pictures kind of helped you with composition here, kind of showed you what needs to be where through example. This is the first part of this tutorial, or first section of composition, so first part of composition. There's gonna be a lot of other videos you can go check out, because composition is a very complicated thing too. There's a lot that needs to go into play. So you can't just take the picture really quick and expect to get a good one without thinking. You can get lucky, which I've gotten plenty of lucky to get good composition just out of luck. But it takes a lot of thinking, and the more you practice every day, go out there, it doesn't matter what time of day, just practice composition. The best photographer can shoot when situations are bad and still makes it look good. That's all composition basically. So thank you for watching. See you in another part. Subscribe, like. See you in another video.